when Steve Harvey defended a black family from a slur. What he said next sent shockwaves across the internet. This wasn't merely a celebrity stepping in. It was a powerful stand against hate that resonated with millions. In just a few heart-stopping moments, a simple act of advocacy transformed into a viral explosion, challenging us all to confront our own beliefs. Stick around, because what happened next will leave you inspired and wanting more. A vibrant community event filled with laughter and joy takes an unexpected turn. Families gather in the park, sharing smiles, stories, and the warmth of togetherness under the bright sun. Colorful banners flutter in the gentle breeze, and the aroma of delicious food wafts through the air as local vendors serve up their specialties. Children run freely, their laughter echoing through the crowd, creating a scene of pure happiness. Parents chat animatedly, exchanging updates on their lives, while friends embrace, savoring the joy of being reunited. But beneath this joyful surface, tensions simmer, waiting for a spark that could ignite the mood. Suddenly, without warning, a slur is hurled at a black family standing at the edge of the crowd. The words slice through the atmosphere like a knife, shattering the moment of bliss. Gasps fill the air, and shocked faces turn in disbelief to witness the pain that immediately etches itself onto the family's faces. The father's expression twists in hurt, while the mother instinctively pulls her children closer, shielding them from the venom that was directed at them. Confusion and hurt ripple through the crowd, and for a moment, time stands still. The joyous atmosphere is replaced by a suffocating silence, as the weight of the insult hangs heavily over everyone present. For the family, this isn't just an insult. It's a crushing blow to their dignity and humanity. They stand frozen, hearts racing, feeling the weight of the world pressing down on them. The children, once filled with joy, now look up at their parents with wide eyes, their innocence shattered in an instant. It's a moment that will linger in their minds, a stark reminder that not everyone shares in the celebration of diversity and unity. In that moment of disbelief, Steve Harvey, a beloved figure known for his humor and heart, stands nearby, engaged in conversation with friends. He senses the rising tide of anger and hurt, feeling the shift in the air as the crowd collectively holds its breath. With a fierce determination, he steps forward, his presence commanding attention. The warmth of his smile fades as he takes in the scene before him. "Hey, what just happened here?" he calls out, his voice cutting through the tension like a beacon of hope. The crowd turns to him, their eyes wide with anticipation. Harvey's expression transforms from concern to resolute strength. "We will not tolerate this," he declares, his voice booming above the chaos. The power of his words resonates deeply, igniting a spark of hope amidst the turmoil. As he speaks, the crowd begins to rally around the family, a wave of support washing over them. People step forward, offering words of encouragement and solidarity. "You are not alone," someone shouts, and others echo the sentiment, creating a chorus of voices that drown out the hatred. The family feels a surge of emotion, their pain momentarily lifted by the strength of Harvey's advocacy and the community's response. In that pivotal moment, the atmosphere begins to shift once more, transforming shock into solidarity and igniting a determination within the crowd to stand against hate. In the wake of Steve Harvey's powerful declaration, a palpable shift occurs within the crowd. The initial shock of the incident slowly morphs into a collective determination to confront discrimination head-on. People begin to gather around the black family, their expressions shifting from disbelief to fervent support. This moment, which could have been marked by silence and shame, instead becomes a rallying cry for unity and resilience, echoing the community's values of inclusivity and respect. As the crowd swells, voices rise in unison, chanting phrases of solidarity. We stand together, and love over hate. The air is charged with an electric energy, a palpable sense of purpose igniting within the hearts of everyone present. Strangers embrace, forming a human shield around the family that had just been targeted. Harvey takes a few steps closer to the family, kneeling down to speak directly to the children, his eyes softening. You are loved, he tells them, his voice steady and reassuring. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You have a community right here that supports you. The family, still shaken but now feeling the warmth of support, begins to respond. The mother, her voice quivering but filled with strength, expresses gratitude. Thank you for standing with us, she says, tears glistening in her eyes. We just want to be treated with respect like everyone else. Her words resonate deeply, striking a chord within the crowd and deepening the emotional connection. Strangers now share a common purpose, their hearts united against the injustice faced by the family. Meanwhile, the individual who made the slur, realizing the gravity of his actions, attempts to retreat from the scene. But the crowd won't let him escape that easily. A group of community members, emboldened by Harvey's words and their shared resolve, confront him. This is not who we are, one person shouts, their voice filled with conviction. Others nod in agreement, echoing the sentiment. The slur has not only hurt the family, but has also awakened a commitment among the community to ensure that such behavior is not tolerated. As the confrontation unfolds, Harvey steps in to guide the discussion, emphasizing the importance of dialogue over aggression. Let's not become what we're fighting against, he urges the crowd. We need to educate, not escalate. This is our chance to show what love looks like. His wisdom resonates deeply, reminding everyone that compassion and understanding can pave the way for healing. With that, he turns to the individual who made the slur, inviting him to share his perspective. It's a bold move, but one that reflects Harvey's belief in the power of conversation and redemption. The man, caught off guard, stammers as he tries to explain his actions. What follows is a raw, uncomfortable exchange that highlights the complexities of prejudice and misunderstanding. The crowd listens intently, some visibly frustrated, others contemplative. As the dialogue unfolds, it becomes clear that the man's beliefs are rooted in ignorance rather than malice. This revelation sparks a new wave of empathy within the crowd. Harvey seizes the moment, urging everyone to reflect on their own biases and assumptions. We all have work to do, he says, pointing out that change starts within each individual. Let's commit to learning from this moment, to understanding one another more deeply. The atmosphere shifts once more, transforming from anger to understanding. People begin to share their own stories of discrimination, creating a tapestry of experiences that binds them together. One by one, individuals step forward, recounting their own encounters with prejudice. Stories of being judged by the color of their skin, their accents, or their cultural backgrounds. Laughter and tears blend as they find common ground, realizing that they are all part of a larger community that thrives on diversity. As Harvey listens, he encourages the crowd to embrace these stories as teaching moments. Every one of us has a platform, a voice, he reminds them. We can use our experiences to educate others, to dismantle the biases that linger in our society. The crowd nods in agreement, inspired by his call to action. As the event continues, Harvey encourages everyone to take action beyond this moment. Let's create workshops, discussions, and safe spaces to talk about these issues, he proposes. Together, we can build a future where love triumphs over hate. The crowd erupts in applause, fueled by a newfound sense of purpose. This moment of unity marks a turning point, not just for the family, but for the entire community. With renewed energy, community leaders begin to step forward, proposing ideas for initiatives that promote inclusion and understanding. "We can start a community dialogue series," one leader suggests. A safe space where we can discuss difficult topics and learn from each other. Another voices the need for educational programs in schools to teach children about diversity and acceptance from a young age. As the crowd becomes animated with ideas, the family at the center of it all begins to feel a sense of empowerment. They realize that their experience, while painful, has sparked a movement toward change. The children, who had once felt vulnerable and exposed, now look around at the supportive faces, their expressions shifting from fear to hope. In this moment of solidarity, the community is transformed. No longer defined by the hatred that tried to tear them apart, they emerge stronger, united by their commitment to love and acceptance. Steve Harvey's presence has catalyzed a powerful response, igniting a flame of change that will spread far beyond this event, reminding everyone that together they can create a more inclusive world. In the weeks that follow the community event, the atmosphere of unity and resilience continues to grow. The incident that had once cast a shadow over the community now serves as a catalyst for lasting change. Inspired by the powerful stand taken during the confrontation, local leaders and residents come together, determined to foster an environment where inclusivity and respect are the norm rather than the exception. Steve Harvey, having witnessed the incredible transformation firsthand, becomes an integral part of this movement. He offers to facilitate workshops and discussions, bringing his charisma and passion for social justice to the forefront. "We need to keep this momentum going," he says during a planning meeting filled with community members. "It's not enough to just react. We must proactively educate and empower each other." His words resonate deeply, igniting a fire of enthusiasm among those present. The first workshop is scheduled for a Saturday morning, and the buzz surrounding it is palpable. Flyers are distributed throughout the community, inviting people of all backgrounds to come together for open conversations about race, identity, and empathy. "Let's break down the walls that divide us," one flyer reads, capturing the essence of the initiative. As the day approaches, excitement builds, with residents eager to engage in meaningful dialogue and learning. On the day of the workshop, the community center is filled with a diverse group of attendees: families, young adults, local business owners, and even those who had initially felt hesitant about attending. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation as they take their seats, ready to embark on a journey of understanding. Harvey opens the session with a heartfelt introduction, sharing his own experiences with prejudice and the importance of empathy in creating change. "We're not here to point fingers," he emphasizes. "We're here to listen, learn, and grow together." The workshop begins with icebreaker activities designed to foster connection. Participants share their names and something unique about their cultural backgrounds, creating an immediate sense of camaraderie. Laughter and stories weave through the room, breaking down barriers and encouraging vulnerability. As individuals share their experiences, it becomes evident that many have faced their own struggles with identity and acceptance. Like one participant, a young woman named Aisha, shares her story of growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood. "I often felt like I had to hide parts of myself to fit in," she confesses, her voice trembling slightly. "But moments like this remind me that my identity is something to be celebrated, not concealed." Her words resonate with others, prompting nods of understanding and empathy. Throughout the workshop, Harvey guides discussions around difficult topics, encouraging participants to confront their biases and assumptions. It's okay to feel uncomfortable, he reassures them. Growth often happens outside of our comfort zones. As the conversations deepen, attendees begin to ask challenging questions and engage in candid discussions about systemic racism, privilege, and the impact of microaggressions. The dialogue is raw and emotional, with some participants sharing their own stories of hurt and resilience. An older man named Mr. Thompson, who had initially been skeptical about the workshop, stands up to speak. "I grew up in a different time," he begins, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "I've said things I'm not proud of. But I want to change. I want to understand." His vulnerability opens the floodgates for others to share their own realizations and commitments to growth. As the workshop progresses, attendees break into smaller groups to discuss specific topics. Each group is tasked with brainstorming actionable steps they can take to promote inclusivity within their spheres of influence. Ideas flow freely. Starting book clubs focusing on diverse authors, organizing community events that celebrate different cultures, and even advocating for inclusive policies in local schools and workplaces. The energy in the room is palpable, with a shared sense of purpose driving the conversation. By the end of the workshop, the atmosphere is electric with possibility. People exchange contact information, eager to stay connected and continue the work they've begun. Harvey concludes the session with a call to action, urging everyone to take what they've learned and implement it in their daily lives. "Change starts with us," he declares. "Let's be the voices that uplift others, the hands that build bridges, and the hearts that embrace love over hate." In the weeks following the workshop, the community begins to see the fruits of their labor. Neighborhood gatherings become more inclusive, with diverse cultural representations at events. Schools introduce new curricula, highlighting the contributions of various racial and ethnic groups, fostering a more comprehensive understanding of history. Local businesses collaborate on initiatives that support minority-owned enterprises, reinforcing the commitment to equity in the community. As the community grows stronger, the family at the center of the initial incident becomes involved in the movement as well. They share their story at local events, becoming advocates for social justice and equality. Their journey of pain transforms into one of empowerment and hope, inspiring others to stand up against prejudice and discrimination. Through these efforts, the community not only heals, but flourishes. The bonds formed during the workshops and discussions create a ripple effect, inspiring neighboring communities to adopt similar initiatives. What began as a painful incident has blossomed into a movement for change, demonstrating the profound impact of solidarity and compassion. In the end, the community realizes that they are not merely reacting to hate. They are actively cultivating love, understanding, and respect. The journey is ongoing, but the foundation they have built together is strong, and they are ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead, united, resilient, and committed to a brighter future for all. As the community continues to flourish in the wake of their newfound commitment to inclusivity and understanding, challenges inevitably arise. The initial momentum that propelled the movement forward faces tests that threaten to unravel the progress they have made. While many residents are eager to embrace change, some remain resistant, clinging to outdated beliefs and prejudices that have long been ingrained in their perspectives. Tensions escalate one evening during a community meeting held to discuss the implementation of new diversity initiatives in local schools. As parents gather in the community center, excitement fills the room, but it is soon overshadowed by an undercurrent of dissent. A small group of attendees, skeptical of the proposed changes, voice their concerns, arguing that these initiatives are unnecessary and that they infringe on their values. We're trying to protect our children from being indoctrinated, one parent asserts, crossing his arms defiantly. Why should we change our curriculum to accommodate a so-called diversity agenda? The room goes quiet, and the tension thickens as others exchange uneasy glances. The brave conversations that had become the hallmark of the community's progress now seem fragile in the face of this opposition. Steve Harvey, who has been invited to speak at the meeting, senses the growing divide. He stands up, determined to bridge the gap. I understand that change can be daunting, he begins, his tone calm but firm. But we have an opportunity here to teach our children about the world they live in, a world rich with different cultures, perspectives, and experiences. Is that not something we want for them? His words resonate with some, but the dissenting voices grow louder. We don't need to teach our kids that they should feel guilty or ashamed of who they are. Another parent chimes in, her voice rising. This is just another way to make us feel bad about our own history. The room erupts into a heated debate, with some attendees passionately defending the need for change, while others vehemently oppose it. The dialogue devolves into shouting, and Steve realizes that he must act quickly to prevent a complete breakdown in communication. Let's take a step back, he urges, raising his hands in a gesture of peace. This isn't about guilt. It's about understanding. It's about equipping our children with the tools they need to succeed in a diverse world. Ignoring these issues won't make them go away. Gradually, the intensity of the debate subsides as he encourages everyone to listen to one another. How about we hear from those who have experienced discrimination, he suggests. Let's listen to their stories and understand why these changes are so vital. With that, he invites community members who have been affected by prejudice to share their experiences. A young man named Malik, who had previously shared his story at the workshops, stands up. I grew up feeling like I didn't belong, he begins, his voice steady but filled with emotion. When I was in school, I faced bullying because of my skin color. I wish someone had spoken up for me, taught my classmates about our differences instead of letting the hate fester. His vulnerability captures the room's attention, and for a moment, the atmosphere shifts. As more voices join in, sharing their experiences of isolation and misunderstanding, the dissenting group begins to listen, their expressions softening as they hear the pain behind the stories. Aisha, who had previously shared her own struggles, stands up again. We're not asking for anyone to feel ashamed. We're asking for understanding, she implores. We want our children to grow up in a world where they can celebrate their identities without fear of being judged. Slowly, the conversation transforms from confrontation to connection. Those who had initially opposed the initiatives begin to express their own fears and uncertainties, realizing that they too want what is best for their children. As they share their concerns, a dialogue emerges, allowing for greater understanding and mutual respect. Steve takes this opportunity to suggest ways to address these concerns constructively. How about we form a committee that includes parents from all perspectives, he proposes. This way, we can work together to create a curriculum that respects everyone's values, while also teaching our kids about diversity. It's not about erasing history. It's about expanding it. The idea resonates with many in the room, and a sense of hope begins to replace the tension. The group agrees to collaborate, recognizing that by working together, they can create a more inclusive and enriching environment for all children. As the meeting concludes, the atmosphere is transformed. What began as an explosive confrontation has evolved into a collaborative effort to address concerns and foster understanding. People leave the community center with a renewed sense of purpose, committed to bridging the divides that had threatened to unravel their progress. In the days that follow, the newly formed committee meets regularly, comprising members from diverse backgrounds. They engage in open discussions, share resources, and draft proposals for the school curriculum that reflect the community's commitment to inclusivity. The collaboration becomes a model for other communities facing similar challenges, showcasing the power of dialogue and cooperation. As the school year begins, parents, teachers, and students come together to celebrate the launch of the new curriculum. The event is filled with cultural performances, storytelling, and food from various traditions, highlighting the richness of the community's diversity. Children of all backgrounds participate, proudly sharing their heritage and learning from one another. Through these efforts, the community not only overcomes the challenges they faced, but also strengthens their bonds. They realize that their journey toward understanding and acceptance will be ongoing, filled with both triumphs and trials. However, they are more equipped than ever to navigate these complexities together, united by their commitment to love and respect. As the community settles into its new rhythm of inclusivity and understanding, the impact of their efforts begins to extend beyond the local boundaries. The initiatives fostered within the community serve as a beacon of hope and a model for others grappling with similar challenges. News of their transformative journey spreads, attracting attention from neighboring towns and even regional media outlets eager to learn about their approach to fostering diversity and unity. The local newspaper features a front-page article highlighting the community's commitment to inclusivity, detailing the workshops, the new school curriculum, and the collaborative efforts of the Diversity Committee. The headline reads, "A Community United, Embracing Diversity Through Understanding." This coverage ignites a wave of interest, prompting other communities to reach out for guidance on how to implement similar programs. Recognizing the opportunity to broaden their impact, the community leaders decide to host a regional summit on diversity and inclusion. They invite representatives from neighboring towns, educators, and activists to share their experiences and strategies for promoting understanding and acceptance. The planning committee, which includes members from various backgrounds, works tirelessly to create an event that reflects the values they have fought so hard to establish. As the summit day approaches, excitement fills the air. Harvey, who has become a beloved figure in the community, agrees to be the keynote speaker. His presence adds a sense of prestige to the event. "This is our chance to show the world what can happen when we choose love over hate," he says during a pre-summit meeting with organizers. On the day of the summit, the community center is buzzing with energy. Attendees arrive from all over, eager to exchange ideas and learn from one another. The program includes panel discussions, breakout sessions, and interactive workshops, all designed to facilitate dialogue and encourage collaborative solutions to the challenges communities face regarding diversity. Harvey takes the stage to deliver his keynote address, inspiring the audience with his words. "Change doesn't happen overnight, but every step we take brings us closer to a world where everyone is valued for who they are," he proclaims. "It's about creating spaces where our differences are celebrated, not feared." His message resonates deeply, and the audience responds with enthusiastic applause. Throughout the day, participants engage in rich discussions, sharing their own stories and strategies. A teacher from a neighboring town shares her experience implementing a cultural awareness program in her school, highlighting the positive changes she has observed in her students. "They are more empathetic and understanding of each other," she explains. "It's not just about teaching facts. It's about fostering a sense of community. Another speaker, a local activist, discusses the importance of addressing systemic inequalities and provides actionable steps for communities looking to advocate for change. We must not only educate ourselves, but also hold our institutions accountable, she emphasizes. The audience listens intently, taking notes and asking questions, eager to apply these lessons in their own communities. As the summit progresses, attendees are encouraged to brainstorm collaborative projects that can be implemented in their towns. Groups form around various topics, creating mentorship programs for youth, organizing community cultural festivals, and establishing alliances with local businesses to support diversity initiatives. The energy in the room is infectious, and participants leave feeling empowered and motivated to take action. After the summit concludes, the conversations continue. Many attendees express a desire to maintain connections, forming networks that will facilitate ongoing collaboration. Social media groups are created, allowing participants to share resources, successes, and challenges as they work toward inclusivity in their own communities. Back in the original community, the ripple effect of their actions becomes increasingly evident. Inspired by the summit, local leaders launch new initiatives based on the ideas exchanged at the event. A community garden project is established, bringing together residents from different backgrounds to cultivate not only plants, but also friendships. Monthly cultural potlucks are organized, where families share traditional dishes, fostering appreciation and understanding of each other's culinary heritages. As the months go by, the community continues to thrive. Schools report positive changes in student behavior and attitudes, with children embracing their differences and forming friendships across cultural lines. The community becomes known not just for its inclusivity, but also for its resilience and determination to combat prejudice. However, the journey is not without its obstacles. As the community gains recognition, it also attracts scrutiny from outside groups that oppose their efforts. A small faction begins to organize protests against the community's diversity initiatives, claiming that they threaten their values and way of life. Flyers are distributed, and social media campaigns are launched, targeting the very programs that have brought about positive change. Faced with this opposition, the community rallies together once again. Leaders call for a meeting to discuss their response, emphasizing the importance of remaining steadfast in their commitment to inclusivity. We cannot let fear and hatred dictate our path, one leader asserts. We must continue to show love and understanding, even in the face of opposition. In a show of solidarity, the community decides to host a counter-event, inviting everyone, including those who disagree with their initiatives, to engage in open dialogue. We want to listen to your concerns, the organizers declare, but we also want to share our vision for a united community. As they prepare for the event, the community reflects on the journey they have undertaken. They recognize that while the path to inclusivity is fraught with challenges, it is also rich with opportunities for growth, understanding, and connection. The counter-event becomes a transformative experience, allowing for candid conversations that shift perspectives and foster understanding. As individuals from opposing sides share their stories and experiences, common ground is discovered. The event serves as a reminder that dialogue, even in the face of dissent, can lead to healing and reconciliation. In the end, the community emerges stronger than ever. They have weathered the storm of opposition and have reaffirmed their commitment to love, understanding, and acceptance. The ripple effect of their efforts continues to inspire others, proving that even in a world filled with challenges, the power of unity and compassion can create lasting change. With the community's commitment to inclusivity firmly established, The effects of their journey begin to take root in ways that the residents had not initially imagined. The initiatives around diversity and understanding evolve into a broader movement that touches various aspects of daily life, from schools to local businesses and even local government. As part of the ongoing efforts to promote inclusivity, the community decides to launch an annual festival celebrating cultural diversity. The festival is envisioned as a vibrant showcase of traditions, food, music, and art from various cultures represented in the community. Organizers believe that such an event will not only celebrate their progress, but also educate residents and visitors about the unique backgrounds that make their community so rich and diverse. Planning for the festival begins with a series of community meetings that are open to everyone. Ideas flow freely as residents brainstorm activities, performances, and workshops that will highlight their cultural heritage. Local artists, musicians, and chefs are invited to participate, eager to showcase their talents and share their stories. The festival committee also includes individuals from various backgrounds, ensuring that every voice is heard and represented in the planning process. As the festival date approaches, excitement builds. The community comes together to transform the local park into a colorful celebration space adorned with flags, banners, and decorations that reflect the myriad cultures present. Stalls are set up to feature traditional foods, crafts, and interactive activities, allowing attendees to immerse themselves in different cultures. On the day of the festival, the park is alive with energy. Families arrive early, children running excitedly from booth to booth, parents engaging in conversations with neighbors and friends. The air is filled with the tantalizing sense of international cuisines, spices wafting from booths serving everything from homemade pasta to traditional tacos to fragrant curries. Harvey, who has been a driving force behind the festival's organization, opens the event with a heartfelt speech. He emphasizes the importance of unity and the power of celebration in building understanding among diverse groups. Today, we honor our differences, and we embrace our shared humanity, he declares, encouraging everyone to explore and appreciate the richness of their community's diversity. As the festival unfolds, attendees participate in a variety of activities. Children learn traditional dances, while adults engage in discussions about cultural heritage and identity. Workshops on topics such as traditional cooking, storytelling, and art provide opportunities for hands-on learning. The festival also features a talent show, where residents perform music and dance from their cultures, showcasing the incredible talent within the community. Throughout the day, Harvey circulates among the crowd, taking the time to speak with families and listen to their stories. He encourages attendees to share their experiences and perspectives, reinforcing the importance of dialogue in fostering understanding. As people share their stories, it becomes evident that the festival is not just a celebration. It is a platform for connection and healing. As the sun begins to set, the festival culminates in a grand finale, a combined performance featuring music and dance from various cultures. Groups come together to perform, showcasing not only their individual heritages, but also the beauty of collaboration and unity. The crowd watches in awe, captivated by the vibrant display of talent and creativity. In the weeks following the festival, the community reflects on its success. The event not only strengthened bonds among residents, but also attracted visitors from neighboring towns, sparking interest in learning more about the community's journey. Local businesses report an uptick in customers, many drawn in by the festival and eager to support the culture they had experienced. Inspired by the festival's success, the community decides to establish an ongoing cultural exchange program. This initiative aims to foster deeper connections among residents and promote understanding through shared experiences. Community members are encouraged to invite one another to their homes for cultural dinners, where they can share traditional meals and stories, further bridging gaps and building friendships. The cultural exchange program quickly gains traction, with families eager to participate. Residents create a schedule of dinners, ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to host and be hosted. The program showcases the diversity of culinary traditions, with each meal becoming a unique blend of flavors and stories. Participants report that the experience not only enhances their appreciation for different cultures, but also strengthens their sense of belonging within the community. As the community continues to grow and evolve, challenges still arise. Some residents express concerns about maintaining the momentum of inclusivity as new families move into the area, bringing different backgrounds and perspectives. Recognizing the importance of continuous dialogue, community leaders organize regular forums where residents can voice their concerns and ideas, ensuring that everyone feels included in the ongoing conversation about diversity. During one such forum, a new resident named Priya shares her concerns about feeling isolated in her new environment. "I want my children to feel connected to this community," she explains, "but I worry that they won't find a place here." Her honesty resonates with many, prompting others to share similar feelings of uncertainty. In response, the community decides to implement a mentorship program, pairing new families with established residents who can help them navigate their new surroundings. This initiative fosters connections and ensures that all voices are heard, reinforcing the community's commitment to inclusivity. It becomes a priority to ensure that everyone, regardless of their background, feels welcomed and valued. As the year draws to a close, the community holds a gathering to celebrate their achievements. This event serves as both a reflection on their journey and a reaffirmation of their commitment to inclusivity. Residents share stories of friendships formed, challenges overcome, and the lessons learned along the way. Harvey, once again, takes the stage, expressing his pride in what the community has accomplished. "You have shown that love, understanding, and compassion can overcome even the deepest divides," he says, his voice filled with emotion. The community recognizes that their journey is ongoing. They are aware that the work of inclusivity is not a destination, but a continuous process that requires commitment, openness, and courage. With each shared meal, conversation, and celebration, they plant the seeds of change that will continue to grow, creating a legacy of understanding and acceptance for future generations.